Alright, so Alex Kraus here with another video blog for you today. This coming up weekend, it's a big day, or it's a big weekend for Pilots Athletics. It's a celebration for the 20th anniversary of Merlo Field, so none of us, or the majority of the team, wasn't around in 1990, so we figured that we'd ask the coaches a little bit about their feelings about the 20th anniversary of Merlo. So we have Bill Irwin in the house today, over in his office, and we're going to ask him some questions. So, Biggin, what were the soccer facilities like here when before Merlo was built?
Well, before Merlo was built, we had a field with a track around it, and it was grass, and it was decent. It wasn't level; it had some undulations in it, and we also, which is now, that is where the practice field and the turf field is, and where Merlo is used to be the practice field. So we had a facility, and we had temporary bleachers. And as the more success we got, the more bleachers we had to bring in. And when we played UCLA in the playoffs, I just remember Ziggy came up, and it was pouring down with rain, and we went out and got all the guys long studs, and Ziggy was out in his nice shoes, tiptoeing through the mud on the old game field, and we won that game 2-1. And we had temporary fencing around and everything to keep the crowd in. So that was the early days, and then we were blessed that Mr. Harry Merlo and Earl Charles were able to get the facility we have today.
Nice. So that's a great memory. Like, what's another fond memory you have of Merlo?
Well, 20 years ago is a long time, and there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then. Some of the memories are things that happened, maybe not within the game. We were playing Creighton one year, and the Creighton coach was a little upset there was no balls. He said there should be ball people, balls, spur balls. So Clive got fed up listening to him, went up the bench, grabbed 2 ball bags, and just threw about 20 balls down the bench towards the Creighton coach. And then afterwards, after the game, we were picking them all up. We lost a few balls, and Clive says, "Don't ever let me do that again." We were playing. Another memory was we were playing Santa Clara. We were winning 1-0 with about 30 seconds to go, and Chris Brown broke clear and scored what we thought was the second goal, but their linesman gave offside. And the goalkeeper, who is playing MLS now, Joe Cannon, put the ball in our half, which the referee allowed. Played it into our box. The ball bounced around, and they stuck the ball in the back of the net. Needless to say, a few of the coaches, no names mentioned, had to be restrained from going after the referee, because how an offside call can lead to the ball being played from our own half was not right.
But you, of course, weren't one of those coaches, right? You kept an even keel the whole time.
I take the fifth on that one. So those are a couple of memories. Obviously, there's a lot, games, close games, which have been there's been a lot of tremendous games on Merlo. So there's a lot of good memories. But those are some of the sort of funny memories that stick out.
Mm-hmm. So not only is it the 20th anniversary of Merlo that we're celebrating this weekend, but it's also a huge rivalry game with University of Washington coming down. How would you describe our rivalry with UW?
It's like a local derby that they have, like back home in Britain, where maybe there's 2 teams within one city, and when they play each other, the fans from each team make the games pretty intense. and it's more like a life and death situation. We're not quite there yet, but our rivalry with UW goes back a long way. I think it's 20 odd years, probably. Well, I remember I've been here 24 years, so it's got to be 24 years plus. And it's like one of those games where they're not quite local, but they're the team that we want to beat. They're in the Northwest. We want to beat them and prove that we're the top team in the Northwest. So it's an intense situation. Over the years, I've got a good relationship with the UW coach, so we have that rivalry going. We want to be, each one of us want to come out on top. I want to come out on top. He wants to come out on top. The players want to come out on top. So it builds up there, and it leads to some very great, interesting games.
Well, I think that's the most I've ever heard Biggin talk at one point. So we're going to cut this off, and thanks again. Tune in for more podcasts, and we'll see you later. So hopefully this weekend. Bye.